There we go. Ooh, new Carby's blue. Exciting times. Good morning, everyone. Ugh. Welcome, as always, to the Totally Awake Club, where we were all totally awake. I'm gonna have to fix my camera, aren't I? Yep, I'm gonna have to go fix my camera. Alright, hang on. Stand by. Probably shouldn't have adjusted the exposure based on the black. That's probably better. That's probably better. Ugh. As I was saying, good morning. Welcome to the Totally Awake Club. Where, as you can tell, I'm definitely totally awake. Yeah. And we are here to show hexagons and watch ducks, I guess. And be totally awake. Yeah, there we go. That works. This is fine. But good morning. I hope everybody is having a good Sunday so far. Local Moogle also totally awake. Yep, that sounds right. That checks out. Also, good morning, Merlin. Hello to you, too. Oh, yes, good. Hot coffee. Hot coffee to make me even more totally awake. Coffee is this, Kara? Okay. We were in the midst of joining some hexagons into the larger whole. For which I need bread. Ah, it's the peanut butter coffee. I don't know if it's just my cup. It tastes a little on the weaker side this time. So either there was a splash too much cream in my cup, or we might need to add a little bit more grounds. I'm guessing you added the same amount of grounds, though. It's still very tasty. Oh, you know what it is? You also added milk instead of cream, didn't you? That's why the taste is off. I'm not used to milk in my coffee. Okay, now, where is edge we will work? There it is. This side. Alright, there we go. There's another set of hexagons joined in. Means it's time to make another set. As is tradition. As is the cycle of hexagons. Or something. Kite has come in with a nya. Nya Kite. Welcome. Good time zone to you too. You can tell I'm awake because I almost said good morning, and then my brain kind of short-circuited and went, wait, no, it's not morning for Kite. But I don't remember the word for the time of day that comes after the morning. So I'm just gonna say good time zone, because I'm definitely very awake. There is no time after morning. Morning is now eternal. Oh, Randus is not going to be happy about that. Neither am I, for that matter. I opt out. Hooray, coffee. Congrats on coffee. Also, Kara, was that sound you hiccuping or did Sasha sneeze again? It was you giggling. Okay, good. I didn't think it quite sounded like a sneeze. Poor Sasha was an incredibly sneezy baby yesterday. Unclear if she caught a little bit of a cold or if she got so excited about the new, got her like these new, they're like cat stews. They're these little pouches of like gravy and chicken and duck that are not necessarily a meal. They're meant to be like a snack or a treat, but they're like a liquid gel stew thing. And she was so excited to get one of those and like dove into it. So it's unclear if she got so excited that she inhaled some of the soup, or if she caught a little bit of a cold. But all day yesterday she was just sneezing, like almost constantly. It was really sad. And I think I caught her sneezing like once or twice this morning, but it does seem to be a lot better this morning. But yeah, the poor thing. She would sneeze and then do the angry ears of like, I hate this. Why am I doing this? It was really sad. It's a very eepy morning. It is, yeah. And at least here it's kind of gray and gloomy outside, which just makes it even more eepy. But that's okay. This stream is an eepy stream. Right. That's 7. There is. All right, excellent. What is my normal feel for the range of the beauty stat on one object? Like, the amount of beauty I want it to have before I decide to keep it? Or... I'm not sure exactly what the question is there. Kind of what range that number has? Oh, like thinking about, I guess, art objects, like statues and things. I think it normally ranges from like 0 for terrible quality up to like a couple hundred. I mean, it depends on the size and like what kind of object it is too. But usually like thought that excluding maybe statues, it was mostly single digits. I think that's correct. Like, I think that's kind of the whole point of statues and art objects, right? Is because they can have higher beauty. I do know, I don't know if you count this as an object or not, But I do know that flowers will sometimes have like a couple dozen. Like, I tend to plant flower beds just because it's easy outdoor beauty and also trains the plant stat when they have to replant them. Have a set of Neil pillows with a base beauty of 160. Huh. Maybe it's because I think Neil pillows, aren't they technically a religious object? Maybe that's why. Maybe they count as more of like an art object as opposed to something functional. That would be my guess anyway. Huh, they start with 10. You made them out of Thumbo fur. And the good quality gets it to 160. Dang. Well, well done, whatever pawn made that, I guess. Come back, Thimble. I need you. A desert start with a custom xenotype that has a 2x food need is tough. Yeah, it sounds like it would be. Good luck, I guess. Goodness, that's... yeah. I hope you find a lot of aloe. In tier 2, hopefully stabilized. Fingers crossed. Also, darn it, Kite, you're making me want to boot up my room world save. Or I guess my latest room world save. Oof. A food binge break at a bad point can kill this run at any time. They can get through about 30 meals before passing out. Oh no. Oh dear. Well, hopefully none of them have traits that make them more likely to food binge. Uh-huh. How's that working out for you, Kite? Survived the first one. Okay, okay. Good, good. Glad to hear it. Nope, come on. Ah, there we go. Your sub renews 11/1. Yeah, that is in fact next week. Also, hi Kuma. And I see that BGA. Excellent. I will be taking my break here in just a couple minutes, and then once we get back, we'll do board games, as is tradition. Make boards and then play boards. I can make a few boards. I might be able to be persuaded to make some boards. You can see my extremely sophisticated board making process. Secrets. No, not even. Fridays roll around and I think I should make boards, but then I'm effing tired and done wanna. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of how it happens, isn't it? That sure is a thing. Barely have the energy to play boards these weeks, let alone make them. No, that's totally fair, Kitay. That is absolutely fair. Alright, there we go. I am going to go ahead and take my break. Everybody get up, stretch, move around, cycle your fluids. Grab food if you need to grab food. I know it is getting on toward food time in some of the time zones, so if you need to eat something, please eat. Grab refills on your drinks, all that usual good stuff. And I'll be back in a few minutes to do some boards. So don't go too far, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, I am back. Hello. Hey, Randus. Finally got some sleep after your alarm went off? Sure, that sounds about right. It helps if I open Board Game Arena. Come on, OBS. There we go. Thank you, OBS. Alright. So, a request has been made to make some boards, and then to play some boards. I can do that. I don't want arena mode, thank you. Sometimes I want arena mode, but not right now. Direct access to my friends. Sure. That works. That is everything, right? Turn-based, da-da-da-da. And then repeat. I told you, extremely sophisticated. Sometimes it remembers that I've previously restricted the play group, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. This also requires me to remember what settings I usually use, which I definitely do all the time. Kara keeps getting bullied on Azul. I mean, hey, sometimes that's how it goes. And if anybody has any suggestions of games they would like to see, I'm just kind of going through my usual favorites list. Full year. Enabled. Enabled. Usually it remembers my settings better than this. Oh, you know what it is? It's because I'm on my other computer. I'm normally making boards on my laptop. Or mobile. Yeah. Yeah, that seems right. Sea Salt and Paper has a new expansion? Ooh. I should probably create a couple of these, eh? Yeah, see, now it remembers all of my settings. Restricted. Making boards was Yalk's thing. When did I get into woodworking? Hey man, if I had the potential studio space, there are so many crafts that I would love to get into. Like I've played around a little bit with dyeing wool and yarn, and I would love to do more of that, except I'm not allowed to in my house because it's generally extremely smelly. Because most dyes are vinegar based. And extremely intense. So yeah, if I was able to like have a garage or have have studio space, I absolutely would do way more crafts than I typically do. See how many times I can accidentally open a game with the wrong settings. Because I'm not paying attention. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, what else? What else? What else? What else? I do like festival. If nobody else joins us, Kara and I tend to play festival against each other. We should actually look at picking this one up in paper. Because I think we both quite like this one. Alright, we had a Kuma request for Bonsai, which is in here somewhere. Ooh, right, and Sea Salt and Paper has a new expansion. Let's see here. Extra salt, extra pepper. Exciting. Ooh, yeah, Pixies is also good. I also quite like Forest Shuffle. Both the original and the new one. Yeah. Oh, dare we play with both expansions? That's probably not a good idea. Let's do Woodland. Let's do Alpine. And then I think because the other one's an actual like sequel game, isn't it? Pixies. I quite enjoyed Cafe. That reminds me, I need to get Kara to play Cafe with me. Because I think she'd like it. Advanced variant. Hang on, there's an expansion? Heck yes. Alright, let's see, what else? Could do the Azules. Always need a good game of Wizard. I do like Sekatsu. Harmonies is pretty good. We could do a Harmonies game. Probably could have upped the number of players on that, but this is fine. Ah, there we go. There's the other one. Like, it's in here somewhere. And then Kuma also requested bonsai, I believe. Okay. Let's see. Anything else jumping up and down? I could make Azul boards. Trying to think of things we're not in the middle of already playing. My list of things I've played. The other thing we could do is go to the main page, see if anything in the new section is jumping up and down at us. I usually just look for things that are like cool art styles where I'm like, oh, I need to know what this is. Like this one. Designing the perfect place to set up a garden to grow plants and attract charming animals and insects. Okay. So maybe that one. Arigato. What's that? Villages are buzzing with anticipation. In just 12 days, the Shogun's birthday will arrive. To honor him, artisans across the land are preparing their finest works. Ooh. Interesting. So at dawn, players secretly assign roles to their 5 artisans in hand. Who will remain as a resident? Who will travel? Who will craft? And then during the day, the artisans are revealed. Producer artisans produce objects, resident effects are triggered, and players must juggle resources to gather the specific items their residents demand. And then at dusk, the Shogun's daily whims are revealed. Meeting his expectations grants bonus favors, while missed opportunities may cost you dearly. That looks interesting. Let's set up a board of that. That looks neat. I usually try to include 1 or 2 new games if I'm just making a batch of like a bunch of old favorites. Okay, no other advanced options yet. And then that other one I was looking at was called Pergola. Yeah, no, not like that. There we go. That's some boards. Last call for anything else? Anyone is itching to play? Either on my list or not on my list. Well, if anyone thinks of anything, I'll go ahead and play through my boards. Okay. So... a 7, a 10... Yes, let's draw. A 2. Okay. That's somewhat useful. Let's discard this. Such cribbage, very cribbage. Okay, I had a plan here. Okay. Plan is, this goes down here. I want that. Yes. That works. Okay, 1 card to Kitsune's Crib. Well, I don't have space for that. I guess let's pass. Single? Dang it. I don't have space for that either. I only have the 3 single spaces. Do I just... Yeah, I think I just end here. And call that... turn? Call that chapter. That's what they're called, chapters. Ah yes, the one where I am losing very badly. Around the corner I go. Do I have any heat in my engine? Oh, I do. Uh-huh. Okay. We got stars. Where do I want to put this? Probably like right around here, because I've only kind of got this middle space to work with. Okay, so I've got a 6 and a 2, and I've got some things to place. So let's use the 2 here and grab those. Ooh, actually, let's do that. And then place it there. That works. Next. 15. Do that. Okay. Probably just grab 2 red. I think so. That works. Okay. Let's go ahead and activate that. And then... Ooh, we have a different Mars. I haven't seen these before. Neat. I didn't realize there were different Mars configuration boards now. Okay. I think I need oxygen. I need oxygen and temperature. Ooh, and greenery. So let's jumpstart that since I have the cash. What kind of reward do I want? Like maybe I just want a card? Maybe I just want a card. Okay, that's actually not bad. Perfect. I'll take it. Next. Okay. I'm blue, huh? So this one's currently going here. I can make it turn here, which would be pretty neat. Maybe I do that. Yeah, I think maybe I do that. Yeah. Okay, hand and foot. I would like to get to my foot, please, at some point. The cards say no. Alright, Boomerang Europe. I need A, B, R, S, F, H, O. Oh, I can grab the O. Let's do that. Okay. So I need to try to grab no more mountains. Maybe a violin. None of these are letters I really need. So I guess let's go with bicycle, probably. Or this is, let's do that one. Okay, I don't think I want a button there. I will roll. Oh, good. Never punished. Five, six, seven, eight, nine. I do not have anything that tops that. Okay, I have one red and one black. Red seems to be what I'm building into, at least at the moment. What if I file this? Let's file that. Okay, all right, that's lucky. Okay, next. Ah, that's it. We're caught up. Excellent. And I have opened boards. Yes, I should comment on that in the Discord. One sec. I want that. Oh look! Cribbage boards are up. Hee hee hee. This is not the one that Kite is currently. Yeah, I feel like Kite's probably going to win this one. We'll see. 4-point hand. I don't think I'm gonna hit 20 point. Ah, well, I don't think I'm gonna have a 10-point crib though. No. But I am still in the running. Okay, 2 cards for Kite's crib. Lem? Lem! Lem, 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 lem. Kits, I made boards. I made some number of boards. Okay. So if I want this one to go here, I want this one to go here, and I want my last one to be this. Okay, we're good. I have achieved a square. Need to see if I have enough energy to get up. Oh dear. Please rest if you need to, Kits. But also eat food if you need to, Kits. Okay. Okay. Maybe that one goes here? The 4 corners. This is a very interesting tile. I could put it a lot of places. Yeah, I think I'll put it there. Okay, 2 cards to my crib. Which I feel like is going to be this. Alright. Ooh. Okay. If I can keep Kite from hitting 21 before scoring, I think I have this. Maybe. Let's play that. Sasha? At least that wasn't a sneeze again. That was just the tiniest little cough. Okay. This one goes down here. And then this one goes here. I don't know if I've won or not, but I'm always satisfied in King Domino if I manage to make a square. No, it looks like I have not won, but that's okay. GG's, Kite. I made a square, which means I've won in my heart.
Okay. So maybe that here. Yeah. Okay. It's one way to look at things. Yeah. There are many ways to look at things. I like making squares. Nice and neat with no tiles missed. Look, sometimes that's harder than you think. A 15, huh? I mean, Kitte's definitely winning that one. But all right. There we go. Thank you very much, friends, as always. So I want to go back here. I want to go back to that screen. And should be good. All right, excellent. Stand by. All right, there we go. I had to move my microphone back. Ugh. Ugh. Everything is fine. I'm definitely awake. Ugh. Good news, my chair has not been stolen by Cat. No, it's true. I heard her outside the door, but she never came in. She just wandered away. Very sad. You good, chair? My chair is making some unidentifiable creaky sounds. Alright, back to Hexagons. Thank you for games as always, friends. Where were we? There we are. Come on.
Over the course of playing ZA without trying and no shiny charm, you have 6 shinies so far. 1 is an alpha. And you accidentally knocked 2 more out because they got caught in the AoE aimed at the alphas. Dang. I have 1. I was just like not even in a wild area, just running down the street, heard the noise, and found a shiny Weedle just chilling in a tree. But yeah, there's a few that I'm thinking about hunting for at various points. Chief among them, because I'm insane, is I would love to have preferably shiny alphas of the fossil Pokemon, which is doable, but is ridiculous. Is the game fun? I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think overall I still like Legends Arceus better for a variety of reasons, but ZA is very fun. Is it worth the price? I mean, again, that depends on like how much value you would get out of it. I would recommend maybe watching a stream or 2 of it, or like a stream of like just the beginning of it, to see if you like the battle style, because the battle style is a lot different than anything else that's ever been in Pokemon before. So I can definitely see if somebody, you know, spent money expecting the same gameplay as Legends Arceus. It's not. It is different. But it is a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. Again, I think for a variety of reasons, I still would prefer Legends Arceus. Just of the... But I think the story in ZA is really good. Like, Arceus didn't really have a story. It was just kind of, okay, we're exploring all these different areas. Here's a lot of little mini arcs. ZA definitely has an overarching story. And I've not finished it yet, but so far I'm finding it really interesting and really intriguing. Yeah, it's an interesting game. And I think it gets better as it goes on, too. Like, if your knee-jerk reaction to it is like, oh, this is awful, give it a little time. I think it does get better as it goes on. No, AoE attacks Kuma. So in ZA, your battle is fully action RPG. So the Pokemon will attack you in groups, and some of your attacks now put AoEs on the field. So like Earthquake hits an area of effect, or like Sandstorm puts down an AoE on the ground, and Pokemon are damaged if they walk through it. So it's really neat. Yeah, I will say this. Yeah, so ZA does start slow, but I think it does get better as it goes along. As more and more areas open up to exploration and you get less and less of that hand-holding, I think it gets a lot better. But yeah, it does start out very hand-holdy. But again, that's just kind of the style of gameplay. And it is a game for children. That's the thing that I think a lot of fans tend to forget about Pokemon. Where they'll like get angry or offer all of these critiques as though Pokemon is, you know, I mean, it is kind of a AAA game, but it's also, first and foremost, a game for children. So I think some of the critiques that adult fans make of it don't always hold up. We didn't have that much hand-holding when we were kids. That's true. But also, video games in general and as an industry has evolved a lot since we were kids. We didn't know to look for it. The developers weren't even thinking about that. They were just kind of throwing things at the wall to see what stuck and what worked. Especially technologically. They didn't have the space on the cartridge to do a lot of hand-holding. That's what the manual was for. Yeah, exactly. As Kuma said, that's what the manual was for. You had to put your tutorials in the manual because they would not fit in the game. I miss manuals. Me too, sometimes. I distinctly remember my first time playing through Pokemon Yellow. I had one of those primo game manuals, like, in paper that I would flip through to find the maps of the various routes, and, like, here's the list of the Pokemon that can be found here. You know, like, all of the stuff you go to Cerebi.net for these days was all just, like, fully printed out and published in a manual. Or a game guide, I suppose, because it didn't come with the game. I bought it separately, but it was like a full-on, like, game guide. Running to the kids in the neighborhood and trading info like that. Oh, yeah. Well, and Pokemon especially had so many, like, schoolyard rumors to it. Especially with, like, the gap between Generation 1 and 2, and the gap between it being released in Japan and then released in North America. And with the anime and the movies coming out. So, like, I distinctly remember that one of the rumors that went around my elementary school, it wasn't actually anything about Mew or like a Mew glitch or anything. I remember there was a rumor in Pokemon Yellow that you could find a Togepi if you did like all of these convoluted steps, because, you know, the movie had been out and the anime was out and we knew that Togepi was a thing. And so there were all these rumors about how you could actually unlock and get a Togepi in Yellow. Of course, none of them worked, obviously, but that's what I remember. And then I remember my buddy in like grade 5 showing me how to find the truck in Vermilion. And both of us just being like, why is there a truck? It's the only truck in the whole game. What does the truck mean? Like, not even really connecting it to Mew, just being confused that there was a truck at all. Why truck? Why hidden truck? Nothing makes you feel like a lonely kid than knowing that you can't get the trade evos. Yeah. That is one thing I'm glad about with, like, internet trading and stuff these days. They're not quite as locked as they were, like, back in the day. like, good lord, trying to convince my parents to buy me a link cable, I remember that being a little bit of not an ordeal, but like, I definitely remember my parents being like, okay, we bought you the Game Boy, we bought you the game, why do you also need this extra, like, cable thing? And me trying to explain of like, no, but I want to trade Pokemon with my friends. Like, the fact that you can just do it over the internet or over infrared now is fantastic. Rather than trying to hook up this fiddly little cable that if you don't get it in just right, it will disconnect. Game Boy Color having infrared trading was amazing, but honestly that was even more fiddly than the link cable. It sure was. I don't think I ever used the infrared for trading, but I sure do remember trying to line it up perfectly for Mystery Gift. Also running on like 20-year-old memories at this point. Shh. Shh. Hush, Kuma. Turning to dust. Yeah. I was gonna say, a little bit more than 20 years old. Pokemon's 20th anniversary was like 7 years ago. Ish? Something like that. Yeah, we're getting close to 30. The 30th is next year? Oh yeah, it would be. It came out in 96 in Japan, you're right. Damn. Yup, you're right. I was thinking later, because obviously in North America, we didn't get it until a couple years later. But yeah, it was 96 in Japan, you're right. 96 or 97 in the States too. Is it? Huh. Yeah, maybe. I honestly don't remember. I remember I got a Game Boy and Red for Christmas one year, but I don't remember Christmas of which year. And I very well could have gotten it a year or two late. I don't remember. Google says 98 for North America? Okay. Or Google knows that that's the year I got it for Christmas. Yeah, I am definitely one of those people that's been a Pokemon fan for 30 years. Like I said, I got a Game Boy and Red for Christmas, and then when Yellow came out, I got Yellow, and then I got Silver. I don't think I ever played Crystal. So I went Red, Yellow, Silver. And then I think I skipped straight to Emerald. I never played Ruby or Sapphire. I skipped to Emerald. And then Diamond. And then again, I think I skipped Platinum until much later. Right, and then... So I bought myself... Again, moving through time here. I bought myself a Nintendo DS and Diamond for myself as my own high school graduation present to myself. So I played Diamond for years, all the way through college. And then when I was studying abroad in Japan in 2009 is when Black and White came out in Japan, as well as Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I actually have Japanese cartridge, and the DS was not region locked. The 3DS was, but the original DS was not region locked. So I have White and Heart Gold in Japanese, which is actually fantastic reading practice, because with Pokemon, especially the NDS Pokemon, they don't use any kanji. They just use katakana hiragana, so it's actually fantastic reading practice and like vocabulary practice. So I have those two in Japanese, and then I bought Black and Soul Silver in English after I got back to the States and after they released in North America. And then I played X, and then I played X, and then at that point I had moved up here to move in with Kara. So from that point on, Kara and I would buy the opposite games. So like, I believe I had Sun and she had Moon, and then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and then Sword and Shield. So we had both. I played Shield, she played Sword. And then Scarlet and Violet. I played Violet, she played Scarlet. So, yep, I've been playing them. And of course, along the way, like, I had Pokemon Pinball. Oh my god, I played so much Pokemon Pinball. I never played the Ranger games, weirdly enough. I don't think I ever played Pokemon Ranger. But I had some of the console games. I never had the stadium games because I never had an N64, but I did have oh crap, the GameCube ones with the shadow Pokemon. Why am I blanking? Coliseum. I had Coliseum and I had XD, which I also played the heck out of. And Snap. I remember, because again, I never had an N64, but my friend did. And so every time I went over to my friend's place, I was like, let's play Pokemon Snap. I want to play Pokemon Snap, because I thought that was the coolest game in the world. I was definitely one of those people that when they announced the new Pokemon Snap, I was like, about freaking time. Because I had been wanting a new one for 20 years. And the new one is great. If you have not played new Pokemon Snap, it is fantastic. I love it. I feel like they could have done more with it, but I'm just happy we got a new one at all. I would actually love a new Pokemon pinball game as well. But that's just... I'm weird. No. Pinball, where to go? So fling it off my finger. Back. Like, legit, where did you go? Oh, there it is. So now I kind of want to play Pokemon Pinball. Dang it. Oh, yeah, and the TCG video game. Yup. Again, I wish they'd made more of those. Not like the weird mobile one that's out now, but like actual proper. Oh, and the Mystery Dungeon games, of course. I'm like, I know there's something else that I play a ton of. Of course, the Mystery Dungeon games. Which I do intend to get back to my playthrough of Explorers of Sky at some point. Also, Kuma, I'm just now noticing your comment about the fact that your toddler has clued into the ducks. I can make the ducks full screen. But also, Plastic Duck Simulator is not actually that expensive. My 18-month-old niece also loves it, apparently. My sister will put it up as basically a screensaver, and the baby will just sit and watch it. Love the ducks. I mean, and that's exactly what I usually use them for too, is I'll have them up on my screen as like a visual stimuli screensaver thing while I'm crocheting or whatever. If we're not actually watching something on television. Have ducks. Love the ducks. Also, a reminder that if you are in a time zone where you should eat something, please think about eating something. Also, take your meds if you need to take meds. Emerge from a lurk. Hello, Anime Kitty. Good to see you. Alright. Another row of hexagons. Time for more.
impressed by how slow and meticulous I am. Thank you. I don't know if it's meticulous or if it's just because I'm sleepy. Yeah, no, that's part of why I like hand sewing though, because I can just kind of vibe, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I like hand sewing because it is slow. And I know that's exactly why a lot of other people despise hand sewing. But I don't know. I find it very relaxing and meditative. And at this point it's basically muscle memory. Like I don't even really have to think about, especially for hexagons, I don't have to think about what I'm doing. My fingers just kind of do it. Need to get back to my knitting. The damn ADHD keeps forgetting I like it. Oh, that's a mood. I mean, I suspect that's part of why I have like 4 or 5 different hobbies that I just kind of rotate between. Like for a while, I will be all about the sewing, even off stream. Like I'll do it in my own time, and then I'll rotate over to like, I'm gonna play video games instead for a while, and then I'll be like, no, I want to crochet for a while, and I like bounce between them. And I suspect be part of why. This year 2 of hexagons, well, yes. Yes. I have been doing hexagons for a while, but like the actual like these scrappy hexagons for stream, yes. Sort of, because before I was working on these scrappy hexagons, I've been working on that blanket for my brother that I really should get back to. The one that's more planned out, the Granny's Star Garden quilt that I really should keep working on, but brain. Ooh, took a wood carving class a few weeks ago. Fascinating, but determined not for me, so I've dodged another hobby. Fair. That's fair. We were actually just talking about this earlier in the stream about how if I had more space, I have like a list of other hobbies that I would happily take up. I just don't have the space for them right now. Like I would love to get more into yarn dyeing. But because it involves chemicals and like needing to cook the yarn and stuff, I try not to do it in our like home kitchen. I really need like a dedicated space for it, which I don't have. A dedicated ventilated space for it is the key. If I had like a shed or a garage or something, that would be the perfect place, but unfortunately not. It's actually mostly Jade. Jade has some smell sensitivities that I try very hard to accommodate, and wool dyeing does not accommodate. Wool dyeing is not a very smell sensitive friendly hobby. Pottery is another one.
Because like I did pottery classes in college and absolutely loved them. Like I love pottery. And I just have no way to set it up at home. I've looked into like there are studios in town that I could go to. But again, it's not something I can afford at the moment. Because most of them are like co-ops where, you know, you need to pay for the space and pay for the materials and that kind of thing. So at the moment I just can't afford it, but at some point pottery and printmaking both are art forms that I got to try in college that I love a lot. And I just have no way to do them at the moment. I have kind of dabbled in the idea of getting back into like very small scale printmaking, like lina cuts and that kind of thing. But they tend to be very messy. So again, I wish I had like a dedicated space apart from my, because I have a crafting room, like I have this sewing room, but it's very fabric and fiber based, and trying to do fiber crafts in the same space as something like printmaking doesn't work super well. It would be better if I had like separate areas for them, but that's never gonna happen. Have I ever been interested in making paper? It's definitely something I'd be interested in learning more about. I've never had a chance to try. Or like, I've never really done any research into the process, but it seems like it would be fascinating. Another thing that I got to try in college that, again, I don't have the space to be able to do anything with, was mosaicing. So, like, you take a board and glue bits of glass or tile or whatever down to it, and then grout or mortar in between them. I had a lot of fun with that, but again, it involves small pieces of broken glass. And to be able to do like proper mosaic works of art, you would need a lot of small pieces of a lot of different colors of broken glass, and that's just not something I have the space for at the moment. Even if I did sort of like, oh, well, I'll just kind of build up a collection over time, like I don't have the space for that. All of my current crafting space is taken over with fabric and yarn, so I don't really have room to branch out at the moment. Thread. Thread is what I need. Well, and then of course there's the other limiting factor of any hobby, which is energy and time. Neither of which I seem to have enough of for sewing, let alone other hobbies. I would kind of like to get back into small scale printmaking though. What are those exactly? Time? Energy? In this economy? Taking 10 days. Yay. Yay, lunch. I get lunch. Also, hi, Kara. Didn't realize you were still tuned in. Debating taking an embroidery class? Ooh. Do it, do it, do it. That sounds awesome. Ah, yes, the 3,000 piece jigsaw puzzle that needs to be finished by next weekend. To Kara's credit, she's almost done. She's probably a little more than 3/4 of the way through it. Why the deadline on a puzzle? Because we're having friends over next weekend and we want to be able to clear off the kitchen table and not worry about a mostly complete jigsaw puzzle underneath. We already did that at Thanksgiving. We don't need to do it again. We definitely did just kind of drape a tablecloth over the half-finished puzzle at Thanksgiving. It was fine. Ah, you use your old computer desk for puzzles? Yeah, see, that's a great idea. We just unfortunately don't have a lot of table space, and also our kitchen table is the only one large enough for this particular puzzle. So it had to be done on the kitchen table. We have a lot of shelving and like bookshelves and things, but we don't have a lot of table space in this place. Or if we do, it's full of stuff. Oof, have to set a large baking sheet over your sink to have basically any counter space in the kitchen. Oh yeah, that's rough. Our counter space situation in the kitchen is not great, but it definitely could be a lot worse. We have we have one section of counter that's like over by the fridge, kind of tucked in the corner, and we use that as our coffee nook. So we have like the coffee maker and the kettle and like all of the coffee beans and stuff over there. So at least that's all kind of contained. And then the other, we have like a section of counter and then the stove and then another section of counter and then the sinks. So it could be worse. It's not ideal, but it definitely could be worse. It's enough space for like baking and everything. We just have to make a conscious effort to like clear things off if we're gonna need counter space. do have enough papers for once. Oh no, was Gus being adorable again? I mean, he's always adorable. It's okay. I fully accept being second monitor content to Gus. And Ben too, I guess. Yeah, he's always at an awkward time for me to catch him live, but I've been watching his VODs. Well, I mean, and my stream is not super active by design. So yeah, by all means, flip between windows, much as you like. My stream is very much designed to be a chill, sort of co-working, vibes-based stream. At least for the crafting ones. You have to be responsible or something? Gross. So, yes and no, Kifa. Oh yeah, this is the same scrap blanket as what I was working on earlier today. I have two of them. So I started last year in 2024 with the idea of doing one hexagon every day. And for 2024, I actually kept to that. There were a few weeks where I fell behind due to health reasons, but then I caught back up. So I closed out that blanket December 31st, 2024, and it is 366 hexagons because 2024 was a leap year. So that one is done. I'm working on quilting it. It's about the right size. I think I'm gonna turn it into a wall hanging. As just kind of like, look, I did a thing. I did a hexagon every day. This is 1 year of hexagons. But I enjoyed that so much that I started doing it again for this year with a new blanket. Except now I've completely lost track of like days, and I'm no longer bothering to say that it's one per day. I'm just kind of making hexagons for it. And that one is going to be bigger. This one that I'm working on now, I intend to make it into a full-size blanket that I can use on my bed. So at some point, yeah, it's currently still a hexagon shape and is just growing as a hexagon. At some point, I'll probably end up squaring it off so that it is a proper rectangle. But that won't be for a while. Because, yeah, I do intend to make this one bed-sized. So I have now done two, well, one and one in progress. It should be easy. It is, yeah. I just kind of have to fill in the corners. But yeah, you can easily get a rectangle shape with hexagons. I just have to pay attention to make sure it's even, which is probably honestly going to be the most difficult part. 7, right? Is here we go. 7 hexagons. Won't say I didn't care, but I don't think it had the same, like, emotional impact on me that it did other players, and other NPC deaths have hit me harder. I don't know what it was. I didn't feel super connected to Harshafont at the time that I was playing through. So I was like, oh yeah, this is sad, but it didn't, like, devastate me. Yeah, see, that one got me. That one got me, Kifa, because I think I did start in Gridania. And actually the one that got me, that still gets me choked up, is Ezale's. Ezale still gets me every single time. I don't know what it, like, I just really love Ezale, I guess. And I think it was possibly because I was somehow not spoiled for her death. Others I had been, but hers I wasn't. So it just, like, completely hit me out of left field. Generally, I don't mind spoilers. I'm typically of the opinion that if having something spoiled for you, well, no, I shouldn't phrase it like that. I'm of the opinion that if something is well written enough and the emotional buildup is done correctly and the emotional connection is true, it doesn't matter if you've been spoiled or something or not. It will still affect you because the story has been well crafted. And I fully acknowledge that other people may have other opinions, but, like, for me personally, I've never typically minded spoilers, because it's like, okay, well, at least for me, you know, knowing it's coming isn't gonna change much. It's still going to affect me if it's something that's well written enough that it's going to affect me, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Ezale's just really hurt. And still does. You like being on the ride and experiencing it for the first time? Yeah, that's true. I don't typically seek out spoilers. And I do enjoy having that blind experience. I just don't get, like, super upset or like, oh no, this is ruined for me now because I've been spoiled. Like, no, I'll still enjoy it if I get spoiled for something. It'll be a slightly different experience than if I was totally blind, but again, all of the emotional buildup and the emotional payoff will still be there. And if it's not, well, then that piece of media may not have been very well written to begin with. If you need to have, like, a, not necessarily with, like, death spoilers, but, like, if you need to have this super dramatic twist of some kind, and spoiling it will defeat the purpose of the entire work of media, then maybe you should reassess that work of media and how it's constructed. I don't know, I'm probably not making a ton of sense with that. I'm probably not explaining that point super well, but if your entire emotional payoff hinges on a twist that you cannot have spoiled, then you should maybe reassess how that, yeah. I don't know how to phrase it better. Because, like, all the best stories have things like foreshadowing and, you know, like build up and through lines and themes. And if you're gonna throw all of that away for the sake of a twist that nobody saw coming, just for the sake of a twist that nobody saw coming, it's probably not that well crafted of a story. Like, you should be able to see big payoff moments coming, because that's how stories are written, or should be. Yeah, yes, exactly. Thank you, Kifa. Trying to outsmart your readers / watchers is a recipe for a bad story, no matter what you do. Yeah, exactly. Like, foreshadowing exists for a reason. It is a device. Use it. Yeah, exactly. The twist should make you go, oh, that's why XYZ, and be satisfying. Yes, whereas breaking consistency breaks immersion, breaks the quality. Exactly. Thank you, kids. Yeah, exactly. You can still have twists if it was, you know, built up and foreshadowed and it works in the story, but having a, like, bonkers, weird, left field twist just for the sake of it, without any prior build up, is not good storytelling. I mean, I was thinking of some of the Marvel movies. But yes, same thing. I've actually never watched Sherlock. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. I think I've seen the first set. Because Sherlock, they did that thing where their season was like 3 episodes, right? I think I've seen the first set of 3. I don't think I watched anything past that. I had friends that were really into it when it was first airing, but I never, like, got into it myself. Yeah, I'm missing a medium time. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I've always gotten, and part of why I've never bothered to watch it. If I want a good Sherlock Holmes story, I'm gonna go watch... Oh, crud. The name has suddenly escaped me. No, there was a movie that they did about Sherlock Holmes's younger sister. And she was the detective and, like, the main character, and it was fabulous. And I'm suddenly missing the name of it. Enola, that's it. Yes. That was such a good movie. I very much enjoyed that movie. It was one of those where we put it on, we were like, oh, this is probably gonna be mid, but, you know, it looks like a fun time, let's put it on. No, it's actually really good. I very much enjoyed that movie. Moffat is a weird writer. He sure is. I think I think where I've landed on Stephen Moffat is that he is a good short form writer. Like when he was writing singular episodes for Doctor Who, I actually love some of his stories. Like, because he's the one that did Silence in the Library and Forest of the Damned. He's the one that did Blink. Like, some of his, like, singular standalone stories are fantastic. But then when you put him in charge of a larger, like, overarching plot, I think is where he kind of loses it. Because he starts trying to do too much and make it too complicated and too convoluted. And he loses his grasp on sanity. I think if he was constrained to just, like, short form, like, nope, you're gonna do this 1 hour story and that's it, you're done, I think he does really well there. But for God's sake, don't put him in charge of a story that's a season long. finish up this scene and then call it a day. Lunch waiting. Alright, there we go. I will call it a day there, I think. So thank you all very, very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my followers, my subscribers, my lurkers, anyone who stopped by today. I really appreciate it. If you're watching the VOD, thanks to you too. I hope everybody has a good rest of your day, a good spooky Halloween week. I am going to try to stream Spooky Game at some point this week. I don't know what day yet. It'll depend on work. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, I will see you here next Sunday, hopefully. But until then, everybody stay safe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, eat your food, drink your water, take your meds, all the usual stuff. And I'll see you next week. Bye!